Eat while.
Yeah, yeah.
We can eat while
yeah,
we're
of course. Casual one.
casual in somewhere. Can we say this is the West Midlands or the Midlands?
Midlands, yeah.
We're somewhere in the Midlands, and I'm going to say, will be the new British heavyweight champion, Frazer Clarke. Welcome back. How you doing?
All good, all good. Been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while, but we sort of like were passing ships in the night
Yeah.
on Saturday. I saw you obviously sat over by the big wigs.
Yeah.
I was in the media section. But I guess we can start there, really. So you was up in Brom for the Magnificent Seven, Frank Warren. How'd you find that card?
I went to support Zach Parker. He's local. He's local to where I live, and
Right.
so it's good to watch him. Then obviously my gym friend Ezra Taylor, he was boxing as well. Old GB friend Echo Esserman, Solomon on 2 heavyweight division. So I'd like to keep an eye on that. Other than that, obviously it was hard to stay. You know, we have the baby and stuff, so we had to get back. But I would have liked to stay for the main event because it looked. I watched it back. It was a good fight.
Epic.
Chantal Cameron looked good as well. I would like to stay for that, but obviously life gets in the way. But yeah, it wasn't bad.
Let's talk about Zach Parker then. Obviously, he's local to the area where you live. Talk to us about him because obviously he's now gone up to 175,
Yeah.
same as Ezra.
Yeah.
I can see Ezra sort of like eyeballing him up already anyway, but talk to us about that fight.
Yeah, you know what it is with Zach. Obviously, he's been very high level. Do you know what I mean? In super middleweight, you know, he's done fantastic. You know, he's won British champion. I think he was higher up with the WBO. Like even number 2 at one point, number 1 maybe. He was basically a fight away from fighting Canelo Alvarez, which is huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, he lost to John Ryder. Sort of killed the momentum a little bit,
Yeah.
and now he's on a rebuilding thing. And you know, like I said, I've known Zach for a long time. He's a local boy, and you know, I just want to see him do well. I think he lets his fight and do the talking. He's not much of a talker, but you know, more performances like on Saturday, and I think you know the world's his oyster. You know, light heavyweight in Britain at the minute, there's some really good fights. Obviously, we mentioned Ezra, a gym friend of mine, so that'll be an awkward one, but.
How do you deal with those awkward ones where it's like you're someone that you're training with every day and someone that you've known of old? How do you deal with that? Because I've seen that Lawrence Okoli, Richard Riakporhe. We've seen it before.
It just is what it is, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, it's a sport at the end of the day. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. In that fight, I'd be neutral. Do you know what I mean? That's a gym friend and an old boxing friend of years. Do you know what I mean? So I'd just be neutral. But it is quite difficult sometimes because as you know, when I'm at boxing, I can't really sit there and be quiet. Do you know what I mean? But I think it'd be a great fight to watch, and they're both 2 good lads. So you know, I'm not sure. I think Zach's wanting to, because he's been at a high level, he's wanting to look up. But Ezra's on the hunt for these kind of people. You know what I mean? These kind of fights. So I think he's wanting to get with the big boys. I think he's wanting Parker's wanting your Boatzes, your Hutchinsons, the winner or the loser. I heard him a few months ago mention Anthony Yard, the Lyndon Arthurs. These are all good fights for him. Do you know what I mean? And I think that was a good fight the weekend for him in the division. But I think he can do another builder, a bit of a tougher test, and then I think he'll be ready to jump in with them boys. And you know, like I say, I'm a good friend of Zach, and I'm hoping he does well.
Esselman versus Cooper. I really love that fight. What a fantastic fight. I mean, Echo getting dropped, coming back from that until he literally just took Cooper out of there. I mean, that was a fabulous fight, but yeah.
You know what? It's more the story. This is going to sound horrible, but you know when you pick up a vibe, I feel like Echo was trying to get elbowed out of the way. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a young guy coming through.
What, because of the Harry Scarf fight?
Yeah, I feel like he's a little bit slept on and forgot about. I feel like the young guys coming through, they think they're catching Echo at the right time. Seeing Echo in the gym is a fucking monster. He's proper, literally, like, you know what, he's a throwback fighter. He does the right things, like, he works hard in the gym, lives a life, and you know what he doesn't he makes up for what he doesn't have in skill. He makes up for in effort and determination. Do you know what I mean? No one's saying he's the best fancy boxer that we've ever seen, but what he is a solid pro with a good engine,
good style as well.
Good style. He's tough. He's exciting. Well, that was the fight we liked the best, and obviously I think at the time of the stoppage, I think he was 3 rounds down. That was what I'm hearing. But I didn't think that was accurate anyway. I thought it was close,
Yeah, yeah.
closer. I didn't know. It might have been around, didn't it? But very, 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 very good from him. And as soon as he went down and he got back up, I said, "That is, you know what it is? That's fitness. That is fitness. That is. If you're not fit, you don't go up for that. You know, flush right hand that was.
Yep.
Big shot. When you're fit, you can get up. If you're not fit, you don't get up off that.
And he did, and he went in there and he got that win.
Yeah, I think he just. I've not watched it back, but I would love to see what the corner said. I think they must have given some real good talking, you know. And he went out there and just did his job. So I'm happy for him, and hopefully another big opportunity off that for him. I hope he gets something. Do you know what I mean? Like these people that put their life and soul into the sport, you want to see him do well. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
Not everyone's gonna be world champions, but God, he'll try. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully, Echo gets another big fight and. I know he's called the engine, but I think they're going to start calling him Little Upsetter because I think he really slept on a little bit. And I commented on his Instagram over there, put some respect on his name because he deserves that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the sport. Sometimes you can suffer a defeat, or maybe you're not, Mr. Popular or Mrs. Popular, I should say, on Instagram, and people just they don't take you seriously. It's almost like your success or your graft is based on your following, your presence, and it's so shallow.
It's sad, but I do urge people, and especially like myself from the Midlands and him, Echo from Nottingham. I do urge people of the area, get behind your local sportsman. You know what I mean? Go and support them. Like I know it's not cheap, but go and buy a cheap ticket. Go and give them a shout on. If you can, it's a good night out. All these fighters deserve your support because it's entertainment and they work really hard. So if you were looking for something to do on a Saturday night, and you walk down your local pub and you see a poster of Echo Esserman or Frazer Clarke or Zach Parker or Ezra Taylor, go and buy a ticket, even the cheap one. It goes a long way, honestly.
I even say sometimes if you can't get to the fight, just buy a cheap ticket to show support and then watch it at home. Every little helps, doesn't it?
I know it's hard at the minute, with money and stuff, but I'm always negotiating with the people above me, the powers that be, to try and get the tickets a reasonable price and a good block of people so we can have everyone together. I do try my best, but obviously it's a business, is what people need to understand. It's difficult, but everyone's support is so much appreciated.
So you was there also for Ezra, the Cannon Taylor, and I will say he's very ambitious. He's very confident. He believes in himself. I spoke to him last night and he's already chasing the likes of Willie Hutchinson. He's someone that you're going to have to pull back the reins and still build him because he's still only 9 fights in.
I mean, he talks like another awkward sometimes. He talks to me about, I want the Ben Whittaker fight. And I think, Ben's a talent, that's my boy as well. So it's a bit awkward, but no, Ezra is. He's young, he's hungry, he's ambitious. And I love to see that. Do you know what I mean? You don't hold your words. Don't pussyfoot around. If you want something, chase after it. Go and get it. Do you know what I mean? So but just best of luck to him. Listen, I see the way he trains, the dedication he has, the work he's putting in, and mostly important, the improvements he's making. Listen, it wasn't a spectacular knockout. It would have been nice to get the stoppage, but listen, he's improving all the time. I'm telling you, I like Ezra, and obviously. We know that my personality in the gym and stuff, I'm always trying to help these guys out. Yeah. I mean, I'm always talking to them all the time and just trying to see where I can help them. I don't know everything about boxing, but I've got a bit of experience. So I try and just tell him little things, and I can see things he's doing, and he's working obviously with the coach and stuff, with Angel and stuff. So I can see the improvements coming bit by bit. So I'm happy for him.
I did watch when he was fighting. I saw you on your feet shouting out instructions, which is something that you always do anyway, like a proper team player.
I just want to see people. When you like people and you know people, you just want to see them do well. So that's it, really.
Move on to the heavyweights. Then we saw obviously Solomon Dakers take on Michael Webster in the rematch. It should have been David Adelaide. Adelaide pulled out due to injury. Talk to us about that fight and how you think that went and how you think it would have went if you fought Adelaide.
He pulled out due to injury. First and foremost, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's an injury because
why?
I seen him there, and he looked healthy enough and willing enough to throw hands. So he should. I think he could have fought if he wanted to, but I think he's scared. I think he's scared to lose. I think he's scared to lose to Solomon because Solomon's not so much of a big name. I'm not sure what the pay would be for the fight. So
Yeah.
he's probably thinking, oh, if I lose here to this, I'm done. I probably don't think we'll see the fight. Or I think he needed another time. I think he needed to look at Solomon again to get a bit of confidence for that fight. So when they're ever going to reschedule it for, if it does happen, we'll see. But at the minute, I can't see much happening with that. And to be honest, I can't see much interest in it.
Can't you?
No, I don't really care. I don't really care about that anyway. Is he on a rebuilding thing, Adelaide, or is he not? Last time we seen him, he was on his arse in Saudi. So he's not back in the ring yet after that long. It says a lot to me.
When was that fight actually?
It was on the Fury.
Was it the December card?
Was that Fury and Ghana, wasn't it? Was that?
Yeah, it was December. Oh, look at this. It's dinner time. Look at that.
It's all right, don't worry.
You got to tuck in.
Yeah, I'll get it.
That salmon looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll get it in a minute. Yeah. So yeah. I don't really know what's going on with that fight. Like I say, he doesn't seem. If you really want to fight,
Yeah.
You get yourself ready to fight. And I think that was the last time I fought, wasn't it? So he's a clown now. I don't want to fucking even speak about it. He's a fucking idiot.
Okay. I mean, well, fair enough. I thought it was good. Thought it was going to be a good fight because I said it's the boxer versus, the puncher.
He's not a puncher. He's an actor. That's what he's an actor. He's a proper actor, like fake London gangster, top boy roadman gone fucking completely wrong. That's what he is. Absolute wet pussy.
Okay. See, I'm in this position now, and I've got to remain neutral because people get in their feelings.
Yeah. No. That's just me talking. That's just my opinion on him. But let's not talk about him because he's a waste of time.
Well, let's go back to the performance with Solomon and obviously is Michael Webster. Yeah, talk to us about that and how you thought it went. One of the things is people saying last minute notice. Another one was saying they don't think that he should have been in, that he wanted to be in there.
No, he didn't.
And then another thing I'll say is actually listen to the commentary. I don't know if you've listened to the commentary for the fight, but yeah, your thoughts, Frazer.
No, because I was there live, I've not listened to nothing, but obviously I know that Solomon wanted to come back and make a statement. And from the first bite, I was expecting him to go and make a statement, and it just didn't quite. I don't know. It just didn't quite get going. I mean, Michael's a bit of a difficult one. You know what? Because is he a prospect? Is he not? Like you don't. I don't know.
Where is he?
I don't know. Like I don't know what he wants to do. Like, but he just looked like he had no ambition to me. Do you know what I mean? He looked like got the call, thought he could earn a few quid, come and did a bit. So in that term, so it's a catch-22 because sometimes you think, oh, that's easy, that's a knockover, but sometimes it's harder to get them people out of there because they're not coming to win. Does that make sense to you?
So sort of like passive
he's a survivor, yeah. So,
right.
So in Solomon's defence, he can be a bit awkward like that, Michael. He's got not bad a jab. He was on the GB squad with me, so he's got a few skills on that. Do you know what I mean? He's got a bit of experience internationally, so he's been around the block. He's fought some tough people. But I just think, me personally, if I was getting into that fight and you're looking to make a statement, I would have chucked it straight on him. A man that's got a week or 2 weeks notice, whatever. Solomon, he must be obviously I follow him, and obviously he's a heavyweight. You follow his career, he must be the fucking fittest fighter on the earth. I've never seen a man that trains like it. Fucking red zone every 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I was expecting a little bit more, but nevertheless, he got the job done. There was good bits and bad bits, but like us all, I suppose he's just trying to improve. That's what we're all doing. You know what I mean?
When you say you keep your eye on that, we're keeping an eye on you. And Frazer, I haven't even had the time to speak to you since your fight with Fabio.
Let's pause it now. So
eat dinner.
That's good.
See, that would have been a good bit for the convo, actually.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Frazer had to eat his food.
Yeah, we're back.
So we're back.
We're back.
So we're going to go to your fight, because like I said, I never made it, sorry.
Right.
One of your mates told me off for not being there, you know.
Right.
You know what he said? He said he reckons if I was there, it wouldn't have been a draw. I love that. And you know what I will say to the camera? Frazer Clarke is one of the boxers that from the beginning has remained consistent with me. And I respect that a lot. You've always... I don't know. I give you my time, you give me yours, but then you appreciate my time that I'm giving you, if that makes sense.
But do you know what it is? Obviously,
so I like that though.
You're trying to grow your channel.
Trying.
You're whatever you're doing, your thing. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't take none of my. Usually, obviously, we're at a boxing event today. I've trained this morning. I'm gonna train again this evening. Got a few hours off. It helps you out. It's good for me to talk to you about boxing. So it's not a problem. Do you know what I mean?
No, I respect
I like doing these things. So
I respect it.
obviously, we're down the old golf club. This is the kind of place.
Yeah,
This
posh.
is the kind of place I knock about
I'll
nowadays.
tell you what, how the other half live.
You know what it is?
What?
And knock around rich people. You never know what you
it is?
You never know what you learn off them.
I like that.
You have to hang around rich people, knock around them. So that's what I do.
Well, I'm going to start knocking around now. I'm only joking. I was about to say I'm going to start knocking around with you. But speaking about knocking around, that fight that you had with Fabio was absolutely brilliant. I was one of them that was saying, stop writing Frazer off. I've seen him train. I know what he's been doing. He's going to step up, you know, for this opponent. And my God, didn't you just step up? Talk to us about that fight, Frazer, because to me, it was lovely.
Yeah, listen.
Brutal, but lovely.
You need in this sport and in many sports, especially combat sports, you need a dance partner.
Yeah.
You know, someone to bring the best out of you. And I never had that yet. Like everyone, that was my first proper fight, meaningful fight. Before that, they were all knockovers and spoilers. So it was like so when someone come to win, I come to win. That's what actual fighting's about. Like two people trying to win, not one person trying to win and one person trying to get paid and survive. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I knew, like, obviously you don't read super into everything online, but I get the general sense this was Frazer getting banged out here, and all I can say on that is, unless you catch me with the sweetest shot and you're the biggest puncher, but I back my skills and my brain enough to not let that happen, ain't no one just walking in there, just walking through me and just knocking me out like that. I'm not a superhero and I'm not this big hard nut, but I know what I'm capable of. I know how to look after myself. No one's just walking in and knocking me out, you know, without taking a punch in the face itself. It doesn't work like that. I wasn't bred like that. It's not in my DNA to just fall over or just to give up or just to not give 100% in a fight. Like that's just what's in me. So, and also people that a lot of people have got giddy off Fabio's career and performances. You're like, when you look at his box, really, who's his best win? Obviously, Adelaide. You say Adelaide, you say Nathan Gorman. Well, I think they're both shit. So
do you?
Yeah, I think that, like, not shit. That's the wrong word. But I don't think they're at the level of praise he gets for beating him.
Okay.
I expect him to do exactly that to both of them. So I didn't like. Obviously, they were built up, so they were good names on paper. But really, were they great wins? They're great names to beat. But are they great actual fights to win? I wouldn't say so. But
one of the things I will say, which is what I really liked about you, is the variation of shots that you were using. One of the things that was sort of like, I know I can only give it this analogy, phrase. You know, when you're playing a video game.
Yeah.
I used to play Street Fighter in the arcades back with 20p's, the old days.
Yeah, I remember it.
And there was some kind of like routine that Ryu or Ken would do. Thank you. Every time he was coming in, he was throwing that uppercut, and it just reminded me of Street Fighter back in the day.
I know it's quite frustrating to sit here and talk about it now because
Why?
I should have put a hook on the end of it, or I should have gone again afterwards.
Okay.
Like you look in hindsight, don't you? In the moment, you can do what you want to do, and all I wanted to actually do was go and do everyone proud. You know, like the one thing I can't do is know that one day my kids are gonna watch that fight. Yeah, I can't go in there and just like give up or not give my best because I just never do that. And another thing is, as long as my dad is sat in that crowd watching, there is no way I can look him in the face if I don't go to hell and back. I can't do it. I cannot look him in the face. Like it's just a pride thing. You know, my dad is like my strength. Do you know what I mean? I could not have give it 1,000,000,000,000,000% in front of my dad. I don't want to look at him after. Do you know what I mean? So I give everything. Looking back though, there was a few times where I just needed to turn that screw. I just made a few stupid mistakes, like the knockdown for one. That wasn't a knockdown, it was a trip basically. But
Are you saying that your trips? Because I thought he just scrambled your head. I thought he got you on the top of the
no
head
way,
or something.
no way. Look,
Oh, all right,
look. If
I'll
you
have
look,
to
if
watch
you
it
watch
back.
the fight
I'll
back,
watch it back.
I took a few right hands off him, big ones. That was one of the weakest ones. It was more of a little tap.
Okay.
And obviously I'm crossing my feet, schoolboy error, went down. The low blow, which was it? I don't know. I think the referee was a bit harsh.
I didn't see him warn you for that, by the way.
I can't remember. You know, in the
He
moment,
probably did,
he
but
probably did.
whatever.
But and then obviously he didn't. I'm not going to sit here and complain, but Fabio's doing the backhand shots all the time, all the while. He's not getting a point taken off, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like we're past it now, and hopefully we'll just run it back and see who the best man is.
Running it back, when is it happening? You know, I've been trying to get hold. I'm waiting to speak to obviously Ben Shalom. I was getting all excited because obviously we had that last minute press release about get down to Wembley. We're
Yeah.
announcing the AJ Dubois,
Yeah.
Dubois AJ, whatever, however you want to look at it. And I was thinking, I phoned you. I was like, Frazer, are you there? Are you there?
No, you know what? I was thoroughly expecting to be on the card, you know. But for one reason or another, a few things materialised and it's not happened. But yeah, I can't really say too much now.
Right.
But hopefully, in a few coming weeks, we'll have some great news for you guys. And I think the good thing is everyone's gonna get to see it again. Do you know what I mean? Because you know, listen, like I know you've heard me go in on a few of the heavyweights today, but one thing I will say about Fabio,
Yes.
he's a proper guy. Like. He's a stand-up guy, do you know what I mean? He's a fighter. We had a great fight. I got a lot of respect for him now.
Yeah.
Seeing his mum and dad after, they were lovely people.
You can see that about him.
So I said, you know, hello, like, you know, good fight, whatnot. He doesn't. It must be the same feeling for him as it is for me. You know, sitting on the draw, it doesn't feel right. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that my last fight was a draw. Fucking doing my head in.
Yeah,
so I think he feels the same. And listen, we'll just do it again.
Is it going to be this year?
Yeah. I've already had too long out of the ring. I don't like this.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a fighter. I like to fight. So you can be in the gym all you want. I've been in the gym. It's becoming mind numbing. I need the fight, but we're nearly there now. So hopefully, like I say, in a few weeks we can tell you all. Come back and we'll talk about it again.
All right, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for that then, and await some news.
Yeah.
It would be rude if I didn't ask. I've just spoke to last night Brandon Glanton, who's a cruiserweight from. I think he's from Atlanta, but he now fights out of Los Angeles. And he mentioned, and we're going to go on to Richard Riakporhe, that he wanted that fight, but they accepted the Bregan fight instead. So he's like calling a lot of the British cruiserweights dockers. But we've got to touch on Richard because CBS, massive thank you and credit to Chris Billam-Smith. He went in there and he did a real good number, boxed really well, controlled the fight and got the win. But I've got to ask, you've been in the gym with Riakporhe. What the hell happened to him in there, Fraze?
I think
because I know you were screaming at the top of your voice.
I was losing my mind just because. You know when you know what someone is capable of, but bringing that out of him that's not up to me. It's not up to anyone else. That's up to them. Like you have to go in. You have to go and express yourself in a boxing ring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And show you, do you.
But why didn't he then?
You can't put your finger on it. You can pick out points, this and that, and this and that. It happens from time to time, but it's not good enough. And I think he knows that. I think he's the first person to admit that. And just on that night, but again, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, Richard was bad. People won't like me for this. But what I've got to say is, I'm just so impressed with Chris Billam-Smith. You know, he's weird to say that people like that. He's now like, you know, he's right up there for me. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the favourite guys I like to watch because not just the way he carries himself, the way he is. I always see him as a nice guy. Got a lot of time for me. Shane McGuigan, he always sees me, always says hello, and you know, always have good chats with people. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. I just for in that fight I looked at the professionalism and the way they acted, and I just was super impressed with that. So I ain't got like, I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses for Rich. He had a shit night and he knows himself. He can do better. But on that night, it belonged to Chris Billam-Smith and he deserved it. You know, he's a real testament to the sport and to his family and to his place, Bournemouth.
We've got to go back to September the 21st. I'm going to start with another Olympian. Joshua Buatsi versus Willie Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, good fight, you know, good fight. Listen, Josh Buatsi, like my guy, and another stand-up guy, yeah, all the time in the world for him. I feel like the big stage is here for him. You know, his headline, don't get me wrong, he did the good job on Aziz. Now, the big stage, you know, Saudi card, September 21st. Go and do your thing, JB, you know what I mean? Go do it, man, I'm right behind you. But Willie Hutchinson, good, young, ambitious, fearless, I think, as well. Fearless, you know what I mean? Fearless, and probably doesn't know what he's getting into there. 'Cause I think Wax is a real good fighter, real good. Probably doesn't know, probably doesn't care, which is his prerogative. But yeah, I'm fully behind Waxy in that fight, and I think that could be the breakout party. Yeah, we've arrived, and we do a job on a guy that's doing a job on people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that'd be a good one.
Do you think his career's been a bit stagnant? Because look, I was there at the press conference. Remember, Eddie Hearn used to be his promoter. He sat there, you know, with Anthony Joshua. Then you've got Joshua Buatsi sat there with Ben Shalom, his new promoter. And I was talking about with both of them. I said, you know, was it awkward? And I kind of agree with what Eddie was saying about his career being a bit stop-start, because that was the complaint when he was with Matchroom. But Eddie says, look, he's gone to Boxer and he's still only had 2 fights and he's still at British level. He was world level. He's better than he is. Why is he still fighting at British level? So what do you think about that? And I thought it was a valid point, but...
Yeah, well, you know, I think you can't really disagree there, but I think every journey is individual to someone, do you know what I mean? And I think if Josh isn't... I think Josh is a very calculated person, educated person. I do know that. I've spent enough time with him to know that he'll sort of be doing what he wants to do, do you know what I mean? Maybe he hasn't took that leap of faith yet, but if not, maybe it's for a reason. I think you know, when you look at that top table, like Evie's,
Yeah.
I think he can do more than well against a few of them. I think he competes with everyone. He's definitely made the right stuff. He's tough. He can box. He's got a brain. He trains really hard. So I just think, you know, sometimes, you know, this thing about his boxing career, you know, it's not like it's going to happen and be perfect. It's fucking hard work. It's up and down, yeah. It's proper up and down. So I think it is what it is. But he's got, like I say, he's in the big leagues now. He's boxing on that side because he's in the big leagues. In a fight, I think he should and could win. Saying that though, I do really like Willie Hutchinson. I like the way he goes about his fights.
Yeah, he's nice to watch actually.
He's nice to watch. He's got nice skills and stuff. Obviously, I think he got a bit. I think he's a bit surprised. You know, like I seen him and Josh at the press conference.
With the neck grabbing and
don't think just because Watts is a nice guy. Don't think he's not got that in him. You know, don't think he's not about that, because I'm telling you now. These the quiet ones and dangerous ones, the loudmouths, you don't get they're fosses. The quiet ones and the people that don't say too much, trust me, don't mess with, don't fuck with Buatsi. Don't think you take him for a joker, because you can't.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But come on, we've got Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, I know, is a friend of yours. Talk to us about that. And like you said, boxing, the rocky road. You know, Dubois might have been sparring Joshua when Joshua was at the beginning of his career, and now look, they're fighting each other. The way that it turns out, but how do you see that fight going?
Oh, it's a good fight, you know. I think he's got to go there with the real attitude of not giving a shit. You know, like the press conference, he did have that little outburst. I think that was done off like impulse and done that off like emotion. When you tilt there, you can't be fighting off emotion. You've got to really believe and go there with that attitude. You can't really like just act off emotion in that fight, because you're gonna get beat. Joshua's been there, seen it and done it. Probably boxed at a higher level, and for me, he's definitely the favourite, and I think he'll win the fight. But if Daniel turns up how he turned up after 4 or 5 rounds of Ergovic from round 1, confident in himself, not taking all them shots, better defence, with belief, which I know Don Charles will be putting in him, then we've got a fight on our hands.
When you talk about fighters going into fight with emotion, I know it might sound like obvious, but what is the dangerous thing about going into a fight emotional?
you're just not thinking straight. You just
clouding your judgment.
Yeah, you're not in control of what you're doing. Your brain just. I've been in that state many times in boxing, out of boxing. You know, when you're just doing stuff off emotion and doing stuff you shouldn't be doing it. It's not good.
Interesting. Listen, we're gonna cut it there because I could talk to you all night. I could actually, you know. You're all right. You are.
I could talk.
Do you know what I mean? Right. You get behind Frazer Clarke, like I said, it's one of the genuine ones. Yeah. I will say that.
I'm alright.
Team Clarke.
Yeah, respect.
I'll stand on that.
Always respect.
But you know that though.
Always respect.
Do you know what I mean? Hopefully, I'll keep fingers crossed then that we'll get some fight news with yourself
I'll let you know,
and Fabio. You know, I like the both of you, but I will biasly say that I hope you win. No disrespect to anybody at all. So yeah, I'll stand by for that fight news.
Just two guys.
Yeah.
Trying to make something of themselves, you know. Same as every fight, just two people trying to better themselves in life. Is what it is.
It is what it is. And on that note, thank you for listening. You know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, share, all of the cheesy stuff that I've got to say to make my channel grow. But yeah, until the next time.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.